Good morning and welcome to today's buttisode of Woke Your Butt Up. This is Frida Future and today I am talking about codependency. And I'm talking about it not from a place of having gotten out of codependent patterns. I'm speaking about it from a place of vulnerability and presence in the pattern myself. So my awareness of codependence starts kind of around the sort of traditional definition of it as existing alongside of someone with a narcissistic or addiction type of situation. So there's one person who is struggling, going through it, suffering with a disease or an addiction, and then there's another person who is in the caretaking role, in the role of catering to their dysfunction, and that's the codependent. And so in my experience, there's just like a lot of codependency happening, and it's mostly not because of addiction or abuse, but rather just like kind of growing up in a home where my mom wasn't really deeply in touch with her emotions, and so was doing a lot to like be strong and cover it up, but that means that like what's coming out of her mouth is really different from what she's feeling. So if you're smart, you read between the lines and you learn how to anticipate this person's needs and whims and reactions, and you get really good at managing that whole world instead of like taking care of your damn self, right? And so the way that shows up in relationships has traditionally been like me going out of my way to take care of my partner, and then becoming resentful when they don't read between the lines to meet my needs because I'm afraid or vulnerable about explicitly stating what those needs are and potentially being met with a no for whatever reason. Anyway, these are lots of stories about why it's like this, but the fact of the matter is it's like that. And so this is just kind of related to the stories of should that I've been talking about a little bit recently, of like, you know, we're really beholden to notions that we should be catering to our partners in this or that way, or they should react when I subtly hint X, Y, or Z in a certain way, and really it's just like assumptions make an ass out of you and me, and vulnerability is really the medicine, I think, for all of this, of just vulnerably stating what you really want and then giving your partner an authentic opportunity to either meet that need or say no to your need. For me, I think such a big part of it is being afraid of the no, of like having not really been in so many positions where I had a desire that I wanted to state, mostly managing other people's requests and desires in my own time. And so now from this place, being vulnerable, I say all the time that vulnerability is strength, and it is in this case insofar as like it gives me more bounce, right? Instead of feeling kind of like brutally wounded when I get a no, if I can strengthen my vulnerability muscle, then I'm more capable of making requests and not getting hooked on what it means when someone says no to me, right? Coming from that codependent context, it's like when someone says no to you, it means they don't love you. It means they don't want to take care of you the same way you've been taking care of them. It means they don't notice that you put all this energy into them. It means you're not safe. The same way when you try or have in the past said no to them and you got yelled at or punished or whatever, it wasn't allowed, you learned that no was not safe. It's just really interesting being a person who educates about consent and about authentic connection, and then to really have to get like vulnerable and honest about the places where like those things are still wounds that are repeated in me. I feel very strongly that the micro is the macrocosm, that what we create in our own lives, in our own hearts, in our own relationships, like ripples out to the culture abroad. And so in this case, it's like where is rape culture? You know, is it something that's outside of me, far away over there? No, rape culture is every single time that I decide to do something that I don't really, really, really want to do, and every time I force myself to do that. And when I do that for the people that I love, I then create these codependent dynamics in which I'm expecting them to force themselves to do things that I want for me, and that scares me, and I don't want to admit that that's my subconscious setup. But it is, because the way we do one thing is the way we do everything. So anyway, all this to say, confronting codependence wherever you find it, wherever I find it, not from a place of like, bad, no, you shouldn't, but just of like, oh, information, like, that's not optimal. That doesn't work the way that I want it to work. Yeah, that's it. I love you all. Thanks for listening and for checking out my butt and not minding that I don't have like a fucking tripod or anything, and every time I do this, it's like a weird position in the room. It's fun. Thanks for looking. I love you. Have a great day.